And here is the second video of the Writing Test 2, part of the IELTS test. Okay, so here's the third script I'm going to be looking at. Some people believe that a college or university education should be available to all students. Others believe that higher education should be available only to good students. Discuss these views. Okay, so this is quite important. Discuss these views. Which view do you agree with? So from the prompt, basically, we have to do three things. Discuss the opposing views and decide which view you agree with. Let's see what the response does. Okay, so here the writer gives us their opinion. I think that a college or university education should be available to all students. Below, I will give some of my reasons to support my position. Okay, so this paragraph, you can see there's the first reason, second of all, finally, conclusion. Does it address the prompt? Discuss these views? No, it doesn't. So if you look at task response 5, addresses the task only partially. So for this kind of response, there's a ceiling. You cannot give more than a 5 because this is ignored. So it doesn't matter how good the writing is, there's a ceiling. 5 is a ceiling. So please read the prompt carefully. Make sure that you address all parts of the prompt. Okay. As far as cohesion and coherence and cohesion goes, okay, this is misspelled. Okay, each paragraph has a topic, the first reason, second of all. Okay, so good signposting. Each paragraph has a topic sentence, that's good. Okay, we have however, some referencing. Here, these qualities, of course, refers to being self-confident, persistent, and patient. So we have some referencing in the paragraph. In this case, referring to what was said just here. Okay, conjunction. Okay, so arranges information and ideas coherently. Yeah, that's true. Cohesion within or between sentences may be faulty or mechanical, even though its use is effective. Let's see if I can put a 7. Uses a range of cohesive devices. Well, a range. The range is not that wide. So 7 is probably a little bit high. 6 is probably where it's at. Okay, let's have a look at the vocabulary. Let's get rid of these lines. Every person has the right to choose the way to self-perfection. Not improvement, but perfection. Gaining knowledge and experience. I think this is silly. Ooh. Silly is not a word you want to be using in the IELTS writing. It is like to make unavailable traveling. Okay, so I think the writer is trying to use an analogy here. It is like making traveling unavailable. It is like making traveling unavailable. Okay, so there's some problem with word formation and also word order for one who does not have IQ high enough and a high enough IQ. Okay, so some problems there. But they have great personality. Some young people. Okay, so here we have people, plural, personality, singular. Ability, so it should be the ability to learn. Than their classmates. If you have these pronouns him or her, just use them. And here, his or her, just use their. When a teenager gets higher grades because their parents constantly make them study and help to do most of the homework. Okay, here the homework, but actually it should be their homework. Okay, discrimination is not a countable noun, so we don't need this article here. It is a discrimination and seems to make available higher education only for good ones. Good ones. This is not a good word choice, because what does this refer to? If you're going to use the word one, I'm going to be looking at the previous noun that was used. The previous noun is education. Does this one refer to education? Does it refer to students? Not clear. Make higher education available. So there's a problem here with word order. Get rid of this. If a student does poorly, she should be sent down. I don't know what that means. Does it mean you are going to be held back one grade? If a person was never given a chance to try him or herself in college, what to do? What to do in this case? What should be done in cases like these, or in this case? But not what to do, what should be done? Should have the chance to get a higher education, to take or not. This chance must be up to them. So whether or not they take this chance must be up to them. Not to take or not. Whether or not they take this chance. Alright, so vocabulary. Okay, well, word formation. Word formation was not really the problem. It was just more with word choice. If we look at 6 for lexical resources, it attempts to use less common vocabulary, but with some inaccuracy. Attempts to use less common vocabulary. Was there an attempt? Well, we have discrimination. So the key word is some. Words like talented. We have self-confident, persistent. Is that enough for some? Self-perfection. Alright, so let's say it's enough for some. Some inaccuracy. there are some inaccuracies. Does it warrant a 5? Well, probably not a 5, because the range of vocabulary is not limited, and the errors don't cause difficulty for the reader. So 6 is probably a fair score for this, as far as vocabulary goes. And then grammar, I'll just clear this. Okay, we've got present tense. These are all simple sentences. Okay, here we have this conjunction. Present tense. Below seems to be misspelt, but okay, that's not grammar. Get rid of that. The person should have present tense. Okay, so there are some compound sentences, but they're quite simple, just made by using words like but, because. Okay, here we have a relative clause, present tense, again, okay, here we have if student does. Okay, so we have a conditional sentence, another conditional. So for grammar, C5 uses only a limited range of structures. Attempts complex sentences, but these tend to be less accurate than some sentences. Well, are they less accurate? Let's see. Well, it's less accurate in the sense that here the vocabulary used is perhaps not appropriate, but that's not an issue of grammar. Same thing here. What to do in this case. This is more a problem with vocabulary than grammar. This relative clause here, with these qualities, they can get higher grades than spelling their classmates who are talented or lazy. So we can't say, where is that now? We can't say that the compound sentences, those are not complex sentences, they're compound though, are less accurate, and there aren't frequent grammatical errors. So 6 is probably a good score, fair score. Big problem here, discuss these views. That wasn't done. Biggest problem is with the task response. Okay, here's the second script. First of all, if you look at the word count, it's 333 words. So again, this is not an essay that was written under exam conditions. It's too lengthy. So not a good example for someone who's looking to prepare to take the IELTS test. Let's look at this prompt. Many people believe that television programs are of no value to children. Do you agree? Why or why not? Provide reasons and examples to support your response. Okay, so main task for the writer is to express an opinion. In this introductory paragraph, some background is given to the issue, but I cannot see what. Well, I cannot directly see. I see words like poor moral, role models, depictions of violence. All right, these all seem very negative. But I don't see a clear point of view, a clear stance, a clear position. Violence. What's the writer's position? Probably we have to go to the end. Many parents believe. No, it's not even in the last paragraph. The writer writes about many parents believing. Okay, so this is a big problem. Do you agree? This is not answered. There's no, I can't discern an answer. So we're going to have to look at expresses the position, but the development is not always clear. There may be no conclusions drawn. Addresses the task only partially. I didn't even include a 4 on this. Let's see here. If you go to task response for 4. Responds to the task only in a minimal way, or the answer is tangential. 4 may be improved. Present position was just not unclear. But this is unclear. Maybe a 4 is too low, but I think this person limited themselves to a 5 by not addressing the central question to the prompt. Okay, if we look at coherence and cohesion, let's see here. Uses paragraphing but not always logically. Let's see how the information is arranged and whether paragraphing is used effectively. Okay, so it seems the topic here is television programs connected to violence. So violence, we see that here. Okay, so there seems to be a central theme here about television programs and violence. Language, second problem. But this person doesn't clearly indicate that they're going to be talking about problems. Oh, here are the 3 major concerns. Oh, sorry, that's indicated here. So is this the first problem? So it would be better to start the second paragraph by saying, okay, the first problem is that television programs portray violence. And then here, the second issue is disrespectful or profane language. And the final problem, because here the word concern is used. So here the word concern is used also. But there's no clear signposting that this is the first concern, so that could be improved. Just put the word firstly in here, secondly for this paragraph. Okay, so language. Okay, yeah, there are definitely central themes to each paragraph. Moral behavior, moral ethics. Okay, here's the conclusion. Okay, so here's two. Paragraphing. Paragraphing is used effectively. A clear central topic. Is it clear? Well, I think because the signposting is missing, it's not that clear. So, just looking at paragraphing and topic of each paragraph, I think 6 is probably a good score for that. Let's go on to look at vocabulary. Ooh, pervasive force, that's good. A central question remains regarding. If it's a central question, it shouldn't be the. The central question remains. Whether. Okay, so maybe not the best article to use here. The. An analysis of this question reveals. Where's the analysis? Seems to be our opinion. Depiction is good. Profane is good. This paramount concern. Oh, those two words go well together. Emulate's good. Profane's repeated. Insulting utterances. Taken by itself, utterance is good. Oh, portrayals of violence. Did you see portray before? No. Okay. Well, I think values like despair. Despair here used as a verb. Remorse is pretty good. Larger society. Well, for larger society, maybe we should instead say society at large, not larger society. There's a problem there. Okay, but problems here, the wrong kinds of messages. Kinds is not a word you want to be using in academic writing. Okay, let's see if 7 is justified. A sufficient range of vocabulary to allow some flexibility and precision. Some awareness of style and collocation. Some awareness of style and collocation. Some awareness. Where did we see that? Well, the paramount concern. That's an example. Portrayals of violence. 7 might do it, yeah. Okay, let's look at grammar. Okay, has become good present perfect, good present tense, present tense, got this relative clause, got present perfect. Committing violent acts. This participle is pretty good. Have relaxed. Censorship was have relaxed. Have been relaxed. Okay, so it's a bit of a mistake here. Bearing resemblance to the case of portrayals of violence. I didn't notice this before. Bearing resemblance to the case of portrayals of violence. Well, resemblance is a countable noun, so we should have bearing a resemblance to the case of portrayals of violence. I don't know what this case refers to. What case is he talking about? Was this mentioned before? Because this is language. Now we have a portrayal of violence. Okay, I don't know why this is here. If you could ask, you've got some modals. Okay, got these clauses joined here. some conjunctions. Alright, let's see. Is this 7 justified for grammar? Where is grammar? A variety of complex structures. Error-free sentences. Frequent error-free sentences. As far as grammar goes, yeah, there are frequently no errors. A range. We could probably say there is a range, yeah. Few errors and a range of structures. Again, the problem seems to be with just answering the points raised in the prompt.